In section 6.3, you'll learn about how both the river and its valley change in the middle course. The case study here is the River Wharfe, which when it reaches its middle course, the gradient is more gentle, meaning it is not as steep as it was in the upper course, but the river's discharge has increased. This is because more streams and tributaries have added to the volume of water in the river. The definition of discharge is the volume of water flowing in a river, measured in cubic meters per second. The river channel is also smoother, creating less friction to slow down the river flow. As a result, the river's velocity is increased. The definition of velocity is the speed the river water flows at, usually measured in meters per second. This provides more energy for the river to erode laterally, which is side to side, rather than downwards. And this creates meanders, point bars and floodplains, which are shown in the photo I've provided. The valley shape changes in the middle course from a V shape to a U shape, as the floodplain has broadened the valley floor. But during wet weather, the volume of water can be so great that the river sometimes floods over the floodplains. During this time, fine sands and clays brought down by the river from upstream settle over the floodplain and form layers of alluvium. Floodplains are at risk of flooding, but alluvium is fertile and attracts farmers. Now we'll find out how meanders change the valley. The river bends in its middle course, and each sharp bend is called a meander. Meanders are natural, and rivers almost never flow in a straight line. Water flows naturally in a corkscrew pattern, as we can see in this picture, and this is called a helical flow. The helical flow sends rivers energy laterally, which is to the sides. The fastest current, which is called the Thalweg, is forced to the outer bend, as we can see at point A, where it undercuts the bank. This produces a steep edge, or a river cliff, which eventually collapses. Gradually the river undercuts more and more, so that the channel moves to a new position. Helical flows shift the sediment across the channel to the inner bank, which is point B. Here the sediment is deposited by the slower moving water to form a point bar, as discussed before. As the river channel shifts, the point bar gets bigger and bigger, forming a flat area known as a floodplain, which is point C. Finally, continued erosion can create a narrow neck between two meanders, which is at point X. Eventually the neck will be breached at point Y, which cuts off the meander to create an oxbow lake, which is point Z.